you gotta live, you know what I mean? That's my philosophy. Rewind. I always have to double check the month before I do these intros. All right, so today we're doing July raves and rejects. These are my favorites and least favorites from the last couple months. The last one I did was May raves and rejects. I always like to do these kind of spaced out just so I can really test everything, have a lot of products to talk about. Very toasty in here. All the windows are closed. There's no fan on in today's video. One of my last videos, I accidentally had the fan on overhead, so it was like making noise against the mic. Listen, I have the windows closed today, and for an extra precaution now, I have my wind muffler thing on. It's a mix of makeup, lifestyle, food, just everything in life. Books, music, we've got it all today. Trying to drink a can without messing up your lipstick. Let's get into it. My past raves and rejects videos are down below in a playlist if you want to go back and watch any others. I'll also pin the description box in the comment section, so now you can find it there. All right, let's start off strong, no pun intended, with coffee. I was doing an Instacart order on Sprouts and it was on sale for like 10 bucks, and I was kind of like, I've heard good things about Chamberlain coffee, let me pick it up. Chamberlain coffee is Emma Chamberlain's brand. I've said this sentence like 10 times because I'm trying to like say this in the best way. No shade at all against Emma Chamberlain. Basically, all I'm trying to say is that I don't regularly watch her videos, so I'm just coming at this from like a neutral standpoint, literally just trying it as coffee. This coffee, I've now repurchased this 2 or 3 times. This coffee is strong without being bitter. And I feel like that's hard to find in coffees. It has a good taste to it. It has like a nice richness, but it doesn't have that like Starbucksy bitter kind of taste at all. This one comes pre-ground. Okay, I'm gonna be looking real dewy by the end of this video because it's approximately 1 minute in and I'm already literally sweating. It's about 85 degrees in here right now. I've been loving this. We'll continue to repurchase this. I feel like one of the best tasting coffees I've tried, and I friggin' love the packaging, not just the front of it, but love when coffee brands do this kind of packaging. Just like a Ziploc bag here, so you can just seal it like this. You don't have to like roll it annoyingly and then cut, you know. And then I've also been mixing in the vital proteins, collagen, peptides. This one is almost empty, so I actually already repurchased the big boy. I initially started trying this because I was just curious about the joint support aspect of this, but it also is good for skin, hair, and nails. I cannot taste this at all in my coffee. It's like a very, very fine powder. I just put in a few spoonfuls, mix it in. It says 4 tablespoons, but it also has a lot of protein, which I actually didn't even realize when I initially got it. It's 18 grams of protein. So that's pretty great to like get 18 grams of protein in your cup of coffee in the morning. Let's do a makeup favorite next. So this is the Give Beauty Homegrown Glow Highlighter. This is like a shimmer brick kind of highlighter. When I first saw this, it initially reminded me of the Physicians Formula one, which years ago that I used like every day. That one is a different look. That one is more intense. This is that like beautiful radiance from within glow. I have it on right now where it's just very wearable. You can build it up. You just look like naturally beaming. The tone of this too is just perfect. It's like a little peachy. I just mix all of them together with a highlighting brush. It's a little bit peachy, a little bit pinky. It's just the perfect amount of everything. If you have textured skin, this one sits beautifully on top of texture. It just looks like your skin. You like literally can't even see it on your skin. It literally just looks like that like wet look kind of highlight. Okay, wow. I did not need to put on a body glow thing on my chest today. So speaking of body glow, let's talk about what I've been putting actually on my body lately, mostly like my chest and a little bit on my shoulders if I'm wearing like a tank top thing as body glow, but also on my face. It's a Supergoop glow screen, but this is in the shade, it's like the tanner shade Golden Hour. So this is not the lightest shade, it's the one up from that. This gives you the beautiful, just like radiant glow that Supergoop gives you, where it's just that sheen, like an intense sheen, but it does have a little color in it. So I love it for like evening out my chest and just making everything look like smooth and flawless, and then also adding a little color. So I've been using this on my chest, but then also obviously on my face too. I love Supergoop glow screen. It's like one of my favorite glowy SPFs, but the glow level is very intense. If you've never tried Supergoop on your body, try it. And I do have the Supergoop body, like they actually make one for your body SPF. That is a different formula. Supergoop body doesn't have a tint in it like this, and then it also is just like glittery. So in my May raves and rejects, I mentioned the Sol de Janeiro Rio Radiance perfume, and this is still what I want to reach for like most days. It's just Oh my God. Don't have anything else that smells like it. I talked all about it in the last video, but what I wanted to mention in this video is I found a combination with this that I love and that I feel like is so unique. So this is the DKNY Apple perfume, and this is just the rollerball. So looks like I haven't used a lot of this, but like the rollerball lasts forever and you actually need just a tiny bit. This is a strong fragrance. DKNY Apple is one of my all-time favorite perfumes. I've worn it I think since high school or definitely since college. And I'm not normally a fruity scent kind of gal. Has this different like sexiness to it to me than like just a really fresh fruity perfume. Like it has a little bit of depth, but then mixed with this guy, it's so good. Honestly, Sol de Janeiro needs to like just combine these and make like an apple version of this or something. That would really be amazing, but if you have either of these, mix them. This powder, I've now been testing for a couple months and it is confirmed. This is, I think this might be, I don't know, it's definitely right up there with the Urban Decay translucent powder that still has been out of stock. This is literally right like neck and neck with that, maybe even like a little bit higher. I think they're both incredible, but the Amicale, it might be Amicale powder. This is just in the shade translucent. I think there are 3 different shades, so depending on what you want, what your skin tone is. The translucent one, and then I use it with a powder puff. I feel like this gives the best results with this powder. Sometimes I use it with my powder brush, but with a powder puff and like thoroughly coating the powder puff, and then I scrape it off on the edge and then just press it around my pores. I don't use this all over my face. I use this solely as like a pore blurring powder, or anywhere you just have a lot of texture and you just want to like really smooth things out. Literally visibly fills in your pores, makes your skin look truly airbrushed. I love that brands are doing this now. It has like the mesh packaging on top, so it's like very mess free. Amazing. Speaking of texture, I've been using the Joa peel pads for, I started testing it around the same time, so I think it's been almost 2 months now of using these as well. These are 5% AHA and PHA, so these are just little pre-soaked pads and they have like a little bit of texture on them, so I don't know, personally I like that. These I've been basically using in place of my Paula's Choice BHA just to try something else, and I feel like I get very similar results with these pads, and these are literally around like 10 bucks. And I personally love the idea of like just the pre-soaked pad. It just makes it super easy. I will forever love the Paula's Choice, but this is a great option if you don't want to spend the money on the Paula's Choice one or you like the pads better. I have tried like high-end brands that make these, and I feel like these are gentle on my skin while still helping with texture, smoothing things out. I notice a difference when I use these. I stopped using it for like a week or so, and I could tell a difference. Next up, we have a tinted SPF that is now, I feel like definitely in my like top 5 SPFs of all time. 19% zinc oxide, SPF 30. They actually do make this in a non-tinted version, but I personally love the tint in this. I showed this in a whole, my like summer foundation routine video, what I did throughout basically the entire month of June. This is extremely glowy, so only get this if you like a tint and you like that like glass skin look, but truly, if you do that routine like I did in that video, I get the like beaming glass skin smooth kind of look. I love throwing this on. I love the feel of it. It feels like creamy to me and moisturizing without being like greasy, but it's definitely, it's a super glowy SPF. Love the bottle of this. I think it's beautiful. It looks so pretty like sitting on the counter. I wore this in Tahoe, in Denver, hiking, out and about, and I didn't get burned. And it also does not have a scent, which I love. By the way, this video is not sponsored by anyone. I do have an ongoing affiliate code with Dime Beauty, just FYI. You can get, I think it's 20% off. This is the code. You can use it or you can use someone else's, but just a heads up, you can get some extra money off if you use an affiliate code. Parker, leave it. Parker, leave your foot. Wow. Was that my mom voice? Mom voice activated. Next up, we have this bra, and I've been using this. I've been wearing this for, I want to say it's been at least like 8 months now, this exact one. This is a freaking great bra. It's actually from Yes Style, and it's wireless, seamless, and it has like slight push-up padding here, nothing crazy. It's not as much as I'll link my other favorite bra down below. Actually, I'm wearing it right now. It's like the Victoria's Secret one. It's not as much push-up as the Victoria's Secret one. It is so comfortable. Like, I don't feel like I'm wearing a bra. I normally can't stand, even like the Victoria's Secret one. The Victoria's Secret one is comfortable, but you can feel it more than this bra. This is truly like I could sleep in this thing. It's that comfortable. Nowhere does it dig in. It's also super smooth and seamless, like on the back area. And I love that it has tan straps, but this is great. It's also just good quality. Like I've washed this a ton and it looks still like new. It's not like snagging anywhere. It's just nice material, very soft, super comfortable. This skort I've also had for, I think it's also been about 8 months now. And I wear this probably more than I should. I love this skort. It's hard to find ones that don't look like legit tennis skirts, you know, like this doesn't have the pleating on the back, no pleating at all. Has the shorts underneath. It is a skort. I will say I wish the shorts underneath were a little bit longer, like they can ride up a little bit. The fit of the skirt is really what does it for me. It goes out in like such a flattering angle. A lot of times I wear it like on dates, I wear it out. I wear it with just like a nicer black top or whatever. And it's not like a super shiny material, so it's not really obvious that you're wearing like an athletic skort, you know? This is my Amazon purse. I wanted something that was a little bit dressier. It has the like clutch kind of top, so all of your stuff is definitely secure. I wanna do what's in my purse right now? Let's see. I wore this to dinner the other night. I'll put in a photo here so you can see it like on. We've got the Canon G7X. We've got sunglasses, Refi lip gloss, $10, $5, Lawless lip liner, medicine. That was fun. Glad we did that. The only thing is if you need to adjust the straps, you can do it like I did, but it's a little DIY. You gotta get a little creative. So what I do is pull it all the way through. You can just pull the strap through. I just did like a little knot right there, and then I just stick the tail end of the extra strap inside the bag, and I mean, it totally works. Perfect length now. I think it also comes in white and maybe tan, and it's like the really soft faux leather material. My love for this grew a lot over time, and it's the new-ish Natasha Denona concealer. I have the shade N3, which is a perfect tone for me. Love the shade, love the tone. It is nice and neutral. Has a nice applicator. It is full coverage, and I would say it has like a satin kind of creamy finish. It doesn't fully set down and dry down to like a matte finish, but I don't need to set my under eyes with this. I actually like never set my under eyes with this. I personally love full coverage concealers because I can just use less of them. So I just put on a little bit, blend it out with my Nisa concealer brush. I've had my makeup on for, I wanna say at least 2 hours at this point. And I am full sweating right now. So here's a close-up of like sweaty skin, but you can see in this situation how it's looking. Also, I'm about to talk about my blush, so take note right now. The blush. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 05 Fearless Coral. This is not a coral shade at all. Like, I don't know why this is named that. It's more of just like a kind of like fuchsia pink shade. This is a matte blush. It is pigmented, but the thing I love is that it blends out and it has this like soft matte finish. It is a pure matte blush, but I feel like on top of, you know, dewier skin, and then once I put my highlighter on, like you can see my cheeks kind of overall look more dewy. That's with the other products on. I feel like this lasts well on my skin throughout the day. I like the way it goes on. I like the finish of it. It doesn't look too powdery. I just think it's a great drugstore blush. Next up, we have the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. They have a few different like colors in this. This is the pink sugar one, and I actually have it on a little bit on top of my lip products. I'll have the lip products I'm wearing down below, but I did put on a little bit of this over top. And one of the reasons why I love this is I can use it in so many different ways. I like putting this on. It has like a light pink tint. Let's start from the beginning. Rewind. Smells like vanilla sugar. Like it does smell like the actual like, you know, that pink sugar perfume. It smells like that. It layers well on top of other lip products. Like if you're doing a full lip look like this, it's comfortable. It's not sticky at all. It's very moisturizing. I use this in a lot of different ways. Like I do feel like I'm gonna go through this whole tube because I use it at night. I just like throw it in my purse and put it on if I don't have anything else on. I put it on top of lip products as like a gloss, and it does add that like nice kind of plump glossy look. I love that this has a slight pink color. I do feel like this actually moisturizes my lips. Like I like putting it on at night because when I wake up in the morning, my lips aren't dry feeling. They feel nice and soft. So I would get another shade in this. I think they have like a brownish one too, which I'm interested in. And by the way, just to compare like the glossiness level of this is not nearly as glossy as the Peri Para or the Refi clear glosses. It is glossy, but it's not like super intense sheen. Right, next up we have the Tan-Luxe Express Hydrating Water. Probably saw this one come in because I've been raving about this in like, I feel like every vlog / video recently, but This has been my go-to tanner. Ironically, I actually don't have it on right now. Bad timing on my part with filming, but I started testing a different self tanner. I'll put in, you know, you can see it here. The thing is, I don't follow the instructions at all with this. So if you're gonna try this out, please screenshot this screen right here and do these things. I'm not gonna talk about it because I feel like if you're interested, you can just screenshot this, but follow these steps. I would say though, I feel like this is probably good for anyone who self-tans. Like if you are the fairest of fair, you can use this in different ways where if you leave it on for less time, it gives just like a light tan. I leave it on overnight, and I actually like putting like 2 coats on sometimes depending on how deep I want it. The color is so natural looking and it does not streak on me. It lasts well. When it fades off, I can just like scrub off the remaining. It doesn't get like super scaly or patchy or dry. It is hydrating like it says. I think it smells great. It smells like perfume, doesn't have like the super tannery smell. I love how it wears off, love the color, love the evenness. It's just like probably the closest to my perfect tanner I've found so far, and I do really like that I can use it in different ways, and it dries very fast, so you can get dressed. I have like put this on and then gotten dressed and gone and done things. I never miss a spot. It's like very even. This is one of those items that I realized I've never talked about, but that I use, I mean, when I'm tanning, I use it all the time. It's this specific mitt. This is actually a repurchase, and the only reason why I just repurchased this is because I realized I had my other one for literally, I think it's been like 2 years. Which if you're like keeping a product in your shower and getting like wet all the time, like you know, I should probably replace that way more often. But this is an exfoliating mitt to scrub off the rest of the tanner. I love this though because it's an interesting material where like looking at it, you wouldn't think it would be exfoliating at all, but it does way more for me than any of the other mitts I've tried. Does a really good job of scrubbing, even if you don't self tan, but you just want to like exfoliate your body. Affordable from Amazon. I threw one sock in here just to remind myself to include this because it is a favorite. I'm put in a photo here, so I'm not showing you my like used socks, but these Nike socks, I friggin' love these. The quality of these are so friggin' nice. They have like such a nice stretch to them. I think these are considered no-show socks, but what I love is that it cuts low in the front, but then the back has this like high piece right here so that your tennis shoe isn't like digging into your heel if you're wearing no-show socks. I'm a women's size 4 typically, 5 in Nikes, and I have a size small in these and they fit perfect. Dying a slow death. My next favorite, also have talked about these a lot in vlogs, but these are my go-to walking shoe of the last couple months. I've seen so many people out in the wild with these on in airports, walking, guys, girls, everyone. They come in a bunch of different colors. They don't give me the burning feet. They're not like, they don't have a ton of arch support. They're actually like pretty flat, but they're great for walking, and I would assume like weight training because they are kind of more flat, but they're super lightweight. So they're also just like great travel shoe. I've been loving having these in my suitcase because they're light for sneakers. I'm obsessed with them. Next up we have this watch. This is the Casio gold watch. I got it on Amazon. I love the way this looks. It's actually been so nice to have a watch on. Sometimes I like still forget and I'll open my phone to look at the time, but then other times I'm like, oh wow, look at that time right there. Like back in the olden days. It's nice to have the time on your wrist, just like that. I somehow got it though on 24-hour like military time, and now I need to figure out how to get it off that setting. I've been wearing it in the shower. It is water resistant. I haven't taken it off at all. I just figure like, I don't know, we'll see if it starts changing colors. I'm experimenting, but I don't take any of my jewelry off like on my wrist because I just feel like if I did, I wouldn't put it all back on. So I'm just kind of like, you gotta live, you know what I mean? That's my philosophy. So I don't take off any of my bracelets. I feel like it adds like a nice chunkiness to the stack here. I love the way it looks. All right, next up we have song and book favorites, and then I'll do my couple rejects. I don't want to get copyrighted on this video, so I'm not going to include like the playing of the songs here, but I'm just going to pop in some of my current go-to songs. They're all very different from each other, which is my Spotify in a nutshell. One thing I've always loved doing is going on the top 50 charts for different countries. I used to do it on like iTunes Music, now I do it on Spotify, and it's really fun because you find like other kinds of music, other songs that are typically really good because they're in the top 50. I don't know how I got on it, but I am on Albanian but like reels. My reels algorithm is all Albanian wedding dancing and like music, and I am loving it. But because of that, I was looking at the top 50 for Albania, but here's just a couple songs I've been loving. And then we have Never Seen the Rain. This is like what I've had on repeat for like over a month now. I'm obsessed with it. This is like that song where it's like, I feel like it's such a good combo of upbeat, uplifting, like puts you in a good mood. You can like dance, you can sing, but also it's like a little emotional and you can belt it. Like it's just one of those songs. If you want a good car blasting song, here you go. Also, because we're talking about music here, if you want to get into Arab music, I was going to do a whole reel on it, but then I decided like I'm just going to share the screenshots. So I shared it over on Instagram, but I'll pop it in here too. These are from like my Arabic music playlist. So here's some of my favorite Arabic music songs. There are some bops in here, some good ones to dance to, work out to, good beats and like uplifting kind of songs. Let's move into books. Standout, I would say, is Fourth Wing. I rated it 5 out of 5, which I pretty much never do. I'm a tough critic. But for me, Fourth Wing, 5 out of 5. I was hooked. I was into it. I loved it. Loved every second of it. Didn't want it to be done. Can't wait for the second book to come out. And it made me excited to delve further into the fantasy genre. Other favorite is, I keep recommending this book to people and then I realized I don't think I ever actually mentioned it as like an official favorite, but the more books I read in the romance category, typically romance books are like, they're fun, they're easy, they just like get your mind kind of off things. They're just, I don't know, yeah, they're just easy reads that usually I read in like a couple days. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, I just thought was great. I thought the writing was great, the characters were great, it wasn't overly cheesy. I loved everything about it. It was another one of those books where I was like, I just don't want this to end. I have read a couple other Christina Lauren books, and it's actually 2 authors, Christina and Lauren. But I've read a couple other of their books and I like them, but Love in Other Words is definitely like number 1 for me, and it's definitely a favorite. If you want just like a good summer read, Love in Other Words I feel like is so good. And then last book favorite I'll mention is Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. And I want to say I've read 3 other books by Brene Brown. This is by far my favorite. I ranked this one a 4.9 just because the first half I thought was like good but not amazing. The second half for me was really great, and there were so many parts where I listened to the audiobooks, like a 5-hour audiobook, and there were so many parts where I like went back to listen again. I could listen to that book probably like 5 more times and still get something out of it. Definitely the second half. Overall, I feel like literally anyone will get something out of this book. Definitely worth listening to or reading. Moving on to rejects. I have just 2 here because I am doing a speed reviews coming up, and I wanted to save a lot of the products for that video. But I have 2 products actually these are both Korean products that I got on YesStyle. So this first one is this cleansing balm, Deep Clear Cleansing Balm. Typically when I shop on YesStyle, how I choose beauty products is just like, I look at the ratings. If something has like tons of good reviews, I'll try it out. And this cleansing balm just was nothing special to me, and it smells like straight up plastic to me. Like I cannot stand the scent of this one. It is a very like lightweight cleansing balm, so that's nice, but I just didn't feel like it did as good of a job removing makeup as definitely not as my Then I Met You cleansing balm. That's like my number 1. Incredible, love the way that feels. But this one, I just think you could totally pass on. So this is SPF 50. It says Porcelain Base Skip Tone Up Beige. I thought this was gonna be like a tinted SPF. It's like thick and moisturizing with a really nice glow. Like it could almost be like a nice primer, I feel like, for makeup. But the color is so white. Actually, I have this one and the like non-tinted one. Both of them are very, very white, very hard to blend in. And also it like comes through the makeup, so it's actually even hard to cover up, because if it was like super white but I could put on my foundation, if I like the consistency of this, which I do, and it would cover it, that'd be fine. But I just feel like even then it's just like, it's intense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Everything I talked about will be linked down below in the description box and in the pinned comment. Let me know what you've been loving. Parker's like, why is it 5,000 degrees in here? I'm sorry, I know. Someone's got to pay the bills, Parker. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.